I keep spending too much money. My latest acquisition was this Zoom M2 Mictrak device, which is a stereo microphone incorporating a 32-bit float recorder. But actually I picked it up for the same price as the Zoom H1N, which is a fairly basic audio recorder, but this one is way better, if only because of the 32-bit float sound. So I might try it in a minute, but it's a bit windy out here. Have to see how it goes. Anyway, today's little video is largely about the ScottyMakesStuff case for the Osmo Pocket 3. This new case provides space for the extra battery to be fitted below the camera, and it also makes very good provision for the camera gimbal head not to be damaged whatever you do. It holds it off the surface, even if you put it down on the face, on the side, on the back, whatever. And if it topples over, it's also a bit protected as well. The third thing I'm going to talk about briefly is the trick you can do with the Pocket 3, and you can do extra tricks with it, with this case. The trick that you can do with the Pocket 3 of walking into and out of the picture using the hold technique, the gimbal lock technique. You do that gimbal lock by pressing your finger on the joystick, and if you walk around in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, clockwise to walk in out of the picture, anti-clockwise to walk into the picture, you can get an effect like this. So now I'm turning on the lock and I'm going to walk around the camera, which will take me out of the picture, but it keeps the scene as it was. Isn't that clever? And now, keeping my finger on the button, I'm going to do the reverse and walk back into the picture. And here I am again. So that makes a bit of an alternative to some of the techniques which you might use when walking along with the camera and doing sort of selfie stuff and then looking at the scene in general. Let me try that walking as well. So this time I'm walking towards this interesting seating area, and as I get near to it I'm going to walk around the camera with the lock on, and I'm still walking kind of backwards, and yes, here I am in the picture, and I'll now stay still, otherwise I'll fall over backwards. So it gives you some interesting creative possibilities. Now the last thing I'll show is how you can do a clever variation of this using the ScottyMakesStuff case, which allows you to put the camera down any way you want. Here goes. I've never actually really tried this before, but let's give it a go. So at the moment we're looking at the interesting seating area, and I will now lock the gimbal and turn around anti-clockwise and into the picture, looking a bit shaded. I'm going to walk over here, keeping my finger on the lock, and I'm now going to do something completely different. And as you can see, I've managed to put the camera down on a convenient table there, and I've walked into the picture and it stayed locked onto the scene. Nothing to do with following me, this is just using the full lock to achieve that transition. And now I'll walk back to the camera, which is sitting on the table, supported by the ScottyMakesStuff case, and holding the lock button I'll pick it up and walk towards the scene, and as you see all the way through this it stayed pointing in the same direction, which is, you know, a pretty good trick. You couldn't do that with a GoPro. So that's kind of the end of today's little demo. The sun's shining. I'm just going to have a play with my Zoom M2 and see what that gives me, which I might or might not include in this video if it seems to be worthwhile. Bye! Well, let's see what results I get. I think there's too much wind, but you can actually kind of see the wind from the way the grass is blowing around in front of me. I'll take a little walk. Should at least be able to hear my footsteps. Here's the camera and here's the mic in front of me, recording away. There's not actually a lot of noise out here apart from distant sounds of traffic off to the right, the odd bit of dog barking in the far distance, and not much in the way of interesting Australian birds. Sorry about that. Okay. While I was making this video, I suddenly noticed an interesting bag here on the seat. What does it contain? Could it be a whole load of cash in here? Let's have a look. Oh. And hoping that, oh, there's something in it. Something in there. Can't quite get in there. What is it? Oh, it's a whole load of clothes pegs. Somebody dropped their clothes peg bag in the park. Why? Oh well, home I go. Just when I thought I'd made my fortune from finding gold. Ah.